Us Theater for putting this on. I just tell you to give yourselves a hand, but you might want to wait till you're in the privacy of your own home. Anyway, you've all heard about six-pack abs. These are what you call 12-pack abs. You could have abs like these, too, if you drink enough 12-packs. You may have guessed or not guessed by now, I'm not from here. I grew up in, I was born in New York, and I grew up in Jersey. And there's a stereotype that New Yorkers are rude. And there's a stereotype or a cliche about Jersey that every time you tell them you're from Jersey, they say, oh, Jersey, what exit? But I'm a person that likes to break down stereotypes and cliches. So when somebody says, oh, Jersey, what exit? I say, what exit? The one by your fucking mother's house. Anyway, things move a lot faster in a city like New York than they do in Seattle. To give you an idea, before the doctor had a chance to slap my ass, I had his watch. I got a lot of good advice. Like, for instance, my grandfather would tell me, you know, the best things in life are free, unless you get caught. I was glad, though, that I grew up in Jersey, because the schools there were not nearly as rough as they were in New York. I had a cousin, and one day they had an assignment. They were supposed to draw a picture of their teacher. So a couple of them walked up, they picked her up, they threw her out the window, they grabbed a piece of chalk, they ran down the stairs, and they etched her body right where it landed on the picture. Okay, growing up, I used to think that my father thought I was a ghost. I don't mean to imply that he neglected me. The reason why I say I figured he thought I was a ghost was he was always trying to see if I could go through walls. Okay, but one time he was there for me. Like, one time at school, I got accused of all kids were there. My father said, well, come on, there's all kids. I mean, why'd you single my son out? Like, there wasn't anybody else peeing in the pool. I said, well, that may be true, Mr. Smith, but at least they weren't standing on the diver board when they did. Okay, I lost my license recently. Thanks for the sympathy. Anyway, what really pissed me off was I lost it while following directions. I was driving by this place. It said drive-through windows, so I did. People say, well, you don't like taking buses. You don't have a car. Why don't you take a cab? Well, I did take a cab once in my whole life, and that driver was really pissed off when he found out it was missing. I lost a job recently, too. Thanks again for your sympathy. It was like, I went in the office and I said to the boss, I said, I don't understand what's this bullshit. You just got a fucking attitude problem. But, it didn't bother me because I tried to bounce right back. And I tried to go get a job at the post office. And I did really well on the written test, but I failed miserably at the shooting range. But I never really had too many problems making money, well, at least until I found my printing press. Then I figured maybe why I wasn't getting further along in the job market was maybe I needed, like, higher education. So I went to college. I took a philosophy course because I wanted to broaden my horizons. I got in trouble the first day. The teacher said, if a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, did it really make a sound? So I don't know, why don't you go ask the deaf guy in the woods with the concussion? So that didn't work out so well. So I figured I'd try Eastern philosophy. So I went and saw the Zen master. And, he gave me one of those conans. He said, tell me, student, what is a sound with one hand clapping? So I slapped him across the face. I figured I'd try Greek, take a foreign language. I tried for one semester, but I got to tell you, after a whole semester of Greek, I just got to drop it because it just got to be too much of a pain in the ass.
Oh.
Okay, I mentioned drugs before. Drugs are, well, actually, no. I went to one job, and they wanted me to take a drug test. And I kind of got excited because I figured, wow, I get to test some more. Actually, I really joke about it. No, because growing up, my parents had a terrible drug problem. In fact, at one point, it got so bad, I had to stop selling it to them. Got fired from another place called Hungry Painters. Forget this, eating on the job. Then I tried to get a job as a proctologist. I walked into a medical center. He said, Mr. Smith, you have no evidence of any medical background, no medical courses. What makes you think you're qualified to be a proctologist? I said, well, I have a lot of on-the-job training. I've worked with plenty of assholes. I tried moving furniture for a while. That worked out until they realized sometimes I was moving people that weren't home. I believe in burning my waste. That's why the other day I set a government employee on fire. At a housewarming party they got carried away with. I burned the house down. One more pyro joke. Okay, Okay, I decided to test this theory of all these smoke-free buildings they have. I gotta tell you, it's bullshit. That thing was smoking still 10 minutes after I burned it down. Okay, I moved from Portland, back here from Portland. And while I was down there, I noticed that their buses were very jam-packed. They would say like places like Chicago and New York have like, too many people using the mass transit, it's always crowded. But it was so crowded and packed on a lot of those buses. To give you an idea how overcrowded it was, I got a paternity suit going on with a woman I never even met. Okay, I used to live in a dangerous neighborhood while I was there. To give you an idea how dangerous it was, the men's clothing store sold vests that were made of Kel-Bar. The blind guy in the neighborhood's dog was a Rottweiler. But I happen to know that there must have been a lot of Prudential life insurance agents in the neighborhood because every time I got off the bus, somebody was always asking if I wanted to own a piece of the rock. Okay, while I was there too, I would see these advertisements on TV for like OHSU, it's Oregon State Hospital and University. And they would say, knowledge is the key to unlocking doors, which was really a revelation to me because all these years I've been using a crowbar. The other day, one time I was like counting out change one time, and a homeless guy, he came up to me and he didn't actually ask for a quarter. He said, "Did I just hear a quarter?" So I said, "Hey, congratulations, you just passed your hearing test. Now go cover one eye and read the sign over there." Okay, that's a metaphysical joke. You'll get it in another lifetime. One time I went to Alcoholics Anonymous because, I wasn't sure if I had a drinking problem. I knew I didn't have a drinking problem because there's only 2 occasions I'll ever drink. When I'm with other people and when I'm alone. But just to be on the safe side, I wanted to go to one of their meetings. And it's crazy, because people get up there and go, "Hi, my name's Steve and I'm an alcoholic." And people applaud. I mean, why? Why do you applaud like socially unacceptable behavior? But I sat on the list. I tried to keep an open mind. Of course, open mind really just means you got a hole in the head. But I sat and I listened. And people would tell these stories how they lost their job, their best friend, their wife left them, the kids can't stand them, they ran over the dog. I'm thinking like, oh, geez, I don't know what to say. I'd like to do something else. Can I buy you a drink? Okay, let me see, what else do I want to cover here? Oh, okay, so I was out with this woman's liver one time, and she said, "Tell me the truth. You want me for my mind or my body?" Look, I got to be honest, your body, of course. After all, once somebody was fucked in the head. Another woman once told me, she said, "I think you're the kind of man who's afraid of commitment." I said, "Nonsense, I've been committed plenty of times. They don't even know I'm gone yet." Which reminds me, I got half a mind to go get another lobotomy. And the best thing about a lobotomy, leaves you with peace of mind. Okay, I got a solution to solve these cellular phone people who insist on using it while they're driving. I think that they should have a bumper sticker with their phone number on it. That way, when they're pissing you off and you're behind them, you can call them up and say, "Hey, I got a novel idea for you. Why don't you hang up the phone and drive the fucking car?" I used to be jealous of stupid people because I used to think of all the Friday and Saturday nights I spent about 50 or 60 bucks to get at that stupid. Okay, I've been involved occasionally from time to time of going into comedy competitions, and sometimes there's like a lot of cash money involved. So I was excited about it. I wanted to tell my mom, so I called her up, and my mom, she's so great. I mean, she always says the same thing every time I call. "How did you get this number?" So I told her, I said, "Look, Mom, I got this opportunity for about 5 minutes worth of work. I could stand to make thousands of dollars." Hey, she said, "You son of a bitch, you get caught this time, I'm not bailing you out." My father was real happy, though, to find out, because of all the soul searching I did, different jobs. He said, "Oh, so now it's a comedian. What, are you trying to be funny?" Okay, I figured out that 3 times you can really tell when you're broke. All right, when the banker knocks on your door and says he wants his calendar back. You see something you really like at Goodwill, you got to put it on layaway. And one time you really know when you're broke. When you're standing on a street corner and you look so pathetic, a homeless guy comes up and gives you money. Okay, I once got fired from a job for loafing on the, they said loafing on the job. I thought I was just being energy conscious. Just conserving energy. Okay, I once worked at this place too where they were throwing dental impressions out, and I thought, wow, this is such a waste. There's a lot of people in a trailer park that could use this. I once took an online survey to see if I had road rage. I wound up beating the shit out of my computer. Oh, I went out with a census taker once too. Spent the whole day trying to see if she'd take my poll. Right, another thing that really is bizarre to me is why is it Subway has these advertisements and they say, call these people sandwich artists? Like, you're really going to go to a museum and see a fucking ham and cheese next to a Mona Lisa. I got kicked out of the gym, too. And then again, it's like, I was just following directions. They said I couldn't take the dumbbells home. I'm saying, well, why does it say free weights? Okay, I finally came to an agreement with the Vietnamese guy in my neighborhood. I would stop looking at his wife and undressing her with my eyes if he quit looking at my dog and imagine him with an apple in his mouth. Okay, a lot of products out there they advertise on television to recapture youth. Recapture youth, that is so stupid. You wouldn't have to worry about recapturing if you tied them up right the first time. I don't know if any of you ever had the experience of having lazy roommates. I had this roommate lazy. One time I said, hey, no offense, man, but the last time I saw anybody even half as lazy as you was at a convention for retired Teamsters. I swear, I know people that have been in prison who are less afraid of bending over than you. Here's just a couple random thoughts I had the other day. Would you be violating any laws if you left a disabled vehicle in a handicapped parking spot? Would it be in bad taste if you had something called a blowout sale at a tire store? Or worse, would it be real bad to start a school of flight and give people a crash course? Okay, for years, I tried to find myself, and then I got scared, because last week I saw my picture on a milk container. And evaporated milk. I've never understood this. Now, when you open the can, shouldn't most of it be gone? Okay, I went by a used car lot the other day, and they said 25% off all cars, and every one of them was missing a wheel. Okay, I'm just about to wrap it up here. Oh, two more things. I like to make prank phone calls. So I called the 911 Media Arts Center and I said, hey, you better get over here quick with some Van Gogh or I swear to God I'm slicing off an ear. Then I called up the vasectomy clinic, told them I was really interested in having a vasectomy. I was just scared. I didn't have the balls to go through with it. My favorite one is, I like to call the Trinity Broadcasting Network up. And they transform, hey, God bless, Trinity Broadcasting Network. Like, hey, I got a question for you. Do you know what Jesus said the exact moment they were driving the nails in him? And the guy's like, I don't know if the scriptures ever said what he said at that exact moment. I said, hey, no, I got a pretty good idea what he said. Ow! Okay, I'm going to wrap it up with this one. One time a guy looked at me, he said, you look to me like somebody who made a lot of wrong turns down the road of life. I said, well, there's a good reason for that. Because instead of getting a map, I stopped and asked for the directions from an asshole like you. Thank you, folks.
Northwest Actor Studio, and tell your friends it's happening again tomorrow night. And everybody have a good night, drive safe, enjoy your